Okay, so now we're announcing a show, and we want to come into what arena we're announcing in. In this case, it's only one location. We've had up to 8 or 9 locations at once, so it handles that many. We come in here, and we want to select the class that we're going to be in. Select that class, comes up, and here we see we've already had scores put in here. A couple things about the scores, we can see that as we come down here, we can select each row or each back, and we'll notice that I can use the up arrows, down arrows, left and right arrows, and I can see sorted by judge, and the scores are going to be coming out in that order. So we can see the 217 up here, 216, 215 for the combined score. But let's say we don't want to do combined. We don't call out the first judge, let's call it Elizabeth here. And we're going to call her out. And then Jessica, and then Kelly. A couple of things you want to notice here, that one of your jobs as an announcer is to be looking for anomalies. As you can see, this one here is marked yellow. That's because we have an anomaly in the score where we have a penalty 10. X stands for Roman numeral 10. Here we have a couple of penalty 3s down here. So that tells us that we may need to do some reviews if we're doing a world show. Another thing that we're supposed to be doing, we can sort by draw. And if you notice here, there's an anomaly here that we have a missing score. And it's the announcer's job to say that we have a missing score right here and under Elizabeth Baker. So I'll go back and ask the scribe to go ahead and re-enter that score. And that's one of the jobs that we do as an announcer. But it's fairly straightforward to find out the missing score, because if we sort by the judge, they go to the bottom here and they're missing, where these other guys, they do have scores. Also, we want to see that we've got these counts correct and they match what the scribe says. So we have selected in this class, we have 14 and showing all 14. Now this is the working order tab, if you notice that, but there happens to be 2 concurrent classes running at the same time. We have Senior Trail, and then we have the NSBA class running concurrently, which has, of course, less horses in it. Down here in this column, we see that we have which classes that they're in. In this case, because they have the NSBA, they're both in the L1 class as well as the NSBA class. But if we go into here, we can see that not all of them are in every class. So you can easily announce by when you're on this class who's NSBA winning in the NSBA and who's not. When you're all done, you're going to hit this closeout button, and then that's going to go to push to tracker. And then you can at any time change the class, push to tracker. You want to disable as you go along, because that eliminates and reduces the size, eliminates this class, and reduces the size of the class, the number of classes, for all the scribes to choose from. So as you go along, you're going to disable here, and then this one's going to go away, and then you're going to see that that it goes away. Here you see that it's been released already. That means it's already gone to tracker and then pushed up to the cloud, the final results. Now, one thing about the results, that if you're in here, they do, as the scribes do enter the scores, they do go live to the tracker, as long as you have this push to tracker enabled. And whenever you want to refresh the data, you just go here and hit refresh, and it refreshes the data according to whatever live scoring that the scribes are entering in. Also, if a horse gets scratches from the gate, the scratches will show up here as well. We don't have any scratches in this class, but if we did, they'd be showing up with an S as opposed to a DQ for disqualified. And there you have the Horseshoe for Windows FastAnnounce application. And it pretty much is pretty self-explanatory. Just tap wherever you want. The only thing you can do to, if you do disable a class by accident, the scribes won't be able to see it because it cleans up their list, so you have to call the office and have them re-enable it. That doesn't happen very often, but if you do, it's not a big deal. You just call the office and re-enable it. That usually happens at the end of the class by accident. And even if you're disabled, the show does go on. Everyone else can keep doing what they're doing. I'm sorry. If you do disable, they cannot, if they're in a class already, they'll keep going. But if they go out of the scoring and then they try to get back in, that's when they won't be able to get to it. If you have any questions on this, feel free to call our team, and we'll get back to you as soon as you can.